welcome to the channel for new battle report. So this is the first game of Winter Siesta, new tournament organized by my friend Super Ogre. Really nice to get a tournament to start, making some tests after the update. And what's best than playing against people from all over the world? First, you get to know new people. Second, you go out from your local meta, playing against the same guy all the time. And you get some matchup that you didn't know. So, very interesting. Really happy to get that one. Starting, first game we got paired against a Swedish team. Very nice guys, I must say. So thanks to them again for the games. I was paired against their Ogre player. Let's go up to the list. The list is basically, for me, the same than previous battle report, so you know it already. And my opponent was playing the following Ogre list. We have two big units. We have 8 Mercvets and 12 Tribesmen. So that's going to be the beef of this list. And around that he has a lot of scoring / chaff. All those darts he can use as potentially as chaff. So there's a lot of chaff option available for him. And plenty of scoring. As you can see, he has like 3, 6, 8 scoring, which is quite a lot. He has the God Speaker to make the big block very stable, together with the Shaman, who is going to be Master Thaumaturgy. Has also Scroll of Power, Gut Roar. So yeah, very good magical setups. A strong unit with God Speaker that's going to be hard to kill. And around that, plenty of chaff. A big unit of Mercvets to strike hard with the Ginget banner. So that's going to be definitely my prime target for range damage. Obviously, 2 Keen Eater to disturb the backline. And then he has also a Frost Mammoth. Let's go for this one. So we play Breakthrough and Refuse Flank, so diagonal. He has a lot of scoring and more mobility than me, and we are going to be at least early on in a situation where he's going to push towards me. I need to be aware of what he can do, and if his units are full when they hit combat, and I think especially about the 2 blocks, they could be trouble for me. They could be in trouble. He has then chaff to delay or stop counter charges, so he could get set up where he can engage and potentially block the counter charge and play a grind that could be in his favor. That could be something scary early on for me. So that straight puts him to an advantage on the primary. Secondary wise, for me I had to kill one of the Keen Eater and the Frost Mammoth. He had to kill the 2 chariots, so to avoid basically them playing too much in the game. For me, range damage early on, I need to be aware. My game plan will be to be aware of a potential rush and his aggression potential. I need to maximize the time to range damage and then get a counter push. For him, I think finding an attack with his big unit will be the key. Find good charges. He has 2 units that need to reach combat to really get a good victory. And play on his advantage for the primary. I think that's also one of the key. I have the tool to hurt him from range, thinking here keyword rocket battery. He's going to have a big game here. He's going to hurt everywhere, but his big block could push, and therefore I put it as neutral. Deployment wise, I won the defender, and I was okay to play second if he wouldn't drop. I wanted to see what he was going to do. I wanted to also potentially finish the game. I think it's quite interesting on Breakthrough. So I was okay to let him start, which he did. He dropped everything for first turn. I picked this part of the map, which I found quite interesting. I block everything for the ambush. He went with a quite balanced approach, as you can see, leaning towards my zone. So he expected me to go top, which makes sense. So we have the big block here, getting a straight pass towards my zone. Then on the weak flank we have the Tuskers, Bombardier Bruisers, and on the other flank he put far away his Frosty, Mercvets, Bombardier, Tribesmen, and other Tribesmen in the middle. So that's his deployment. What I figured out is I could play on using the geometry of the deployment to basically be quite compact, and you see here the distance between his Mercvets and my battle line is a long distance. And on the road of that, I checked that he would have 1 turn of march in the ruin at least. He could stop before and then march again and stop after, but he's still too far for a charge, so that's 1 turn movement, 2nd turn movement taking DTs, 3rd turn movement taking shoot, stand and shoot. So I felt he's not going to be able to fight after this. because of the DT and the range damage is going to take. I think the Merc Vets here are potentially not in any use to really reach my battle line. I felt I have to worry about the big unit obviously and try to take down the unit from the top flank to allow my 2 units of Lugar to push hard and get into the breakthrough. Bottom of the map, I identify those 2 units trying to sneak in this part of the deployment zone. So my idea was to disturb that with the Vizier. The only goal of the Vizier is to go in a suicide mission where I take out one of these units. If I take one out, that's my calculation. If I take one out, that's 1 point. Then the other one could break through, that's equal. And then I just need my Lugar to break through and I would win the primary. So that would be my goal here. And the rest here, yeah, I just use Lamassu and Chariot to zone the backline. Avoid any entrance from the Kineater. My mage is here safe. Then the Lugar up top and all the shooting base here waiting for him, basically. So here I have my shooting zone, basically to make hard, because if, like I said, if the Merc Vets go through, then they would get at some point boom boom double shot, and I don't think they can survive that. Anyway, his turn 1, he pushed hard towards me. Yeah, no surprise here, just top before the rain, everything pushed forward. Magic Face, I dispel Wrath of God with 6 dice against his 4. And he got a smite which killed one of the Citadel, I think, but nothing crazy. My turn 1, I push even more, so I did Defender, Vanguard plus movement. The Chariot is here up top. I use the Lugar to shield. I make some math. I could potentially take the combat between Tusker and Lugar, but it's dicey. I'm winning on static, so like winning by 2 or 1. It's a bit shaky. And if he buffs, that can get a bit more dangerous. So I know that I need to get at least some damage, which will be my goal here with the rocket, or a token to make it safer for me. So for the moment I respect the charge from the Tusker, and therefore I use the Lugar to shield the ambush, and I start to move forward upwards with my Chariot. The same below, I'm waiting for the ambush. I push a little bit here because I see that he doesn't come too far, and I get my Vizier into position for his mission. Basically I'm trapping now the scoring, so either he comes forward, I'm going to get charged, or he doesn't, and then I continue to push towards the flank. I'm going to get some shot from the Bombardier, but they are quite close and it's not easy for them to hide. So yeah, I could get some opportunities here early on. Magic Face, I get Hereditary on the Tusker, which should help the Lugars, obviously. Fireball does 2 wounds on the Bombardier on top, and shooting did nothing. Nothing from the rocket on the Tuskers, nothing from the Bastion, but I was pretty far away, so only the Flintlock, and nothing from the Vizier, so it's a quiet first turn. His turn 2, he enters the ruin with his Merc Vets, but doesn't want to risk DTs, so he's already showing me that's not going to rush hard, and starting to move back with the Tusker, so it's looking like he's already showing me sign. Okay, I'm going to defend the position, use the cover of the forest, use the cover of the ruin, and I'm going to take an advantage bottom. So he's moving in front of me with the Bombardier to shoot my Vizier short range. He's popping the Kineater in my back, preparing those guys as counter charge, preparing the Frosty in case I would charge, overrun, I would go into his Frost Mammoth. So that's his idea. Basically he's telling me if I don't catch him after combat, he's safe potentially. He can rally, come back, and in the meantime, in the process, he would have eaten my Vizier. The Vizier could overrun here into this position. I'm not sure he could see me. Probably yes, with the Tribesman to charge me, so it's not so ideal for me. But at the same time, I know that the Vizier has a limited lifetime in this game, because, yeah, Bombardier, 9 shot, 4+4+, AP3. I have a 5 and a 5. I know that I'm not going to survive all game long against those guys. And he has also some hunting spears. If he's lucky, I could die in a turn, so I need to be very quick about my aggression here to stop his plan. But basically his plan is to defend that, go with 2 scoring here, and just defend the top corner to avoid me breaking through, and then he could win it on the primary. And he's already showing me that's not going to rush me hard. Magic Face, I dispel Wrath of God, he failed smite. He got Rain of Fire somewhere, killed some guys. Bombardier did nothing. My turn 2. I charged with the Vizier. I contemplated, so he did nothing from the shooting against my Vizier, which made me debate, should I move here, flying here to the flank, threaten his backline, which was interesting. I could have a look at the flank of those guys, could have a look at the flank here. I could look down as well, so I had multiple options to make it interesting, but I felt, if he turns around, shoot me short range, and next time he's more lucky and does 3 or 4 wounds, maybe that's the end of the game for the Vizier. So do I really want that? And if I look that way, I could charge Tribesmen, but they could flee, and then I'm kind of trapped. So I felt, you know what, I was lucky this turn, maybe let's not play too much with the luck, just charge, try to get rid of them. I should break them, I should run them down, because I'm Swift Stride is not, most likely I should run him down. And if I run him down, I'm happy to give away my Vizier, basically. That's the plan. Okay, Magic Face, I'm going to get Flaming Sword on the Rocket Battery, and on top I just start to push forward with the Lugars and the Chariot. Flaming Sword on the Rocket Battery to target the Tusker, obviously. Fireball does 3 wounds on Bombardier. He dispelled the Big Blast. Bastion does 3 wounds on the Bombardier, so only 1 guy left on 1 wound. Rocket Battery managed to do 4 wounds off the Tusker, so it's a good start. The Tusker are not a threat anymore. Close combat, yeah, I fluff a little, do 3 wounds. He overperformed a little, does do 2 wounds, and we drew. So it's not the worst, because I can avoid the 2 charges from the front. Let me show you. This charge is not possible, this one as well, after my reform. But still, he can get the Kineator in my back. Is going to get, because I did 3 wounds, it's going to get a standard, a charge, and a back, so that's +4. So I need to make 4 wounds next turn, and I have no impact this time. I have 3 wounds left. That's going to be tricky. Striking before me, Hatred Kineator. It's a bit dangerous. We will see. Charge me in the back, pushes the Tribesman forward, pushes the first Mammoth. So he's pretty confident it's going to get me. That's basically his assumption right now. I contemplated turning around, but basically I want to strike at Bombardier. I want to make sure I get rid of the scoring. That would be a point for me. So that's going to be my target. He still continue to defend the top corner. That's going to be his plan. The Mercvets don't move much, so that's what I was saying. He's not going to push any harder, just going to defend the top and play on the advantage on the bottom side of the map. Alright, Magic Face, Dispel Wrath of God. He failed the Smite, the Unbeliever on the Lugar due to the MR. Close combat, I do 3 wounds. He do nothing to me. That's the odds for the Kineator, so I'm not sure I put also the Bombardier with it. I think it's only the Kineator, but Bombardier shouldn't do much. But basically, yeah, it doesn't do any wound. I do 3 wounds, which is okay. I lose by 1, so I lose another wound because of the static. But still, I'm thinking, okay, next is my turn. There is only 1 Bombardier alive. If I kill him, if I don't die before and I kill him, that's mission accomplished, so I still have a chance. My turn 3, I push hard with the Lugar on top, so I try to stretch his Death Star, because basically he cannot look everywhere, so I'm starting to push on the flanks. Here you see Blunderbuss, you see the Lugars, and basically I want him, either he needs to move back if he wants to cover everything, or he needs to choose. Either he looks up and then I can push down more, or he looks down and I can push up more. So that's the choice I gave him. Also worth mentioning, the second Kineator that needs to enter the field is the one that's going to matter for the secondary. So it's not entered yet. I'm still zoning it, but maybe I shouldn't have, because I would be happy if he enters my side of the field. I can eat him later and get my secondary. So maybe it was even worth it to not zone anything about the second Kineator and just let him go in my back line and then turn around with the fire and shooting and try to get rid of him. So that could have been also an option. Anyway, that's what I'm trying to do, Magic Face. I failed Pyroflow. I get Hereditary into the Bombardier combat, which is nice because, first of all, that's 3 attack that hit me on 5, so I'm less likely to die. If I survive the Kineator, and we see the odds are I survive, because I have still 2 wounds left. So I should survive, and then I'm hitting on 2s with the Vizier, wounding on 3s, and I'm hitting on 3s with 3+ rerollable from the Bull to do 3 remaining wounds. So most likely this Hereditary means I should win the primary thanks to that spell. So I was thinking, okay, great. I think if I were him, I should have dispelled that one. I think that's the key priority, was to dispel that one and not a blast, because I think here that could very well be the primary objective played. So I get that Hereditary. Nice. Rocket Battery, is going to town this time. Didn't start so well, but now, boom, Mercvets, 3+2+, 8 wounds. Whoa, that's impressive. That's what Rocket Battery does against Merc-Vets. I mean, they are solid. 3+, 2+, multi-wound 2, no armor save. Wow. Crazy damage, 8 wounds. Bastion did nothing against the lone Bombardier on 1 wound. Bowshot did nothing, so yeah, I don't manage to kill him. Close combat. Guess what? I'm going to do only 2 wounds. He's going to do nothing to me. I suffer another wound from the static, thanks to the supernal rule. But yeah, I didn't kill the Bombardier, and now I'm likely to die next turn. And you see, the odds are that I kill him. So I should have guessed that Bombardier was a bit frustrating for me. And now he countercharged me on his turn 4 and is going to get rid of the Vizier. Great. Here, move bit back, still continue to defend. Try to go in my zone with the Bombardier on 1 wound to be disturbing. Here, the Kinetor enters the field. Magic Face. He got Smite, I Dispel, I think the Wrath. Oh no, he tried this time, the trial. I think Rain of Fire on my Lamassu was a big threat because I wanted to be 36. And therefore, he could have Rain of Fire, and I really wanted to dispel that one because it's dangerous against the Lamassu. I think that's what happened. Close combat, my Vizier dies. Yeah, no succeed for the suicide mission. My turn 4. I push even more with the Lugars on top. I start to prepare the breakthrough. So I push with the Vassal Levies, I push with my Lugar, I prepare to march in 2 turns, reach his deployment zone. I get my Bastion up, I push a bit with my Blunderbuss as well. Start to move forward the Chariot, but it's quite late. Yeah, there isn't much else. Pyroflow, I'm going to fail on 4 dice. I'm going to fail Dragon Roll 4 dice. I'm going to finish the Bombardier with some bow shot, I think. I move forward with my rocket because he moved back, so I want to be able to shoot the 2 remaining turns, so I just move forward. That's about it. He's turn 5, and now he starts to defend his advantage because he got 2 scoring here that I'm going to struggle to get rid of. So he's just going to play on that. Defend the position on top. My Lugar are going to reach it, but he wants to make hard for any other unit to reach it. Wrath of God dispelled. My turn. Yeah, I just prepared because I'm finishing the game. I see that's going to be very hard for him to stop me. So I just push the levies, push the Lugars, and basically I see that with any type of 12 movement and here 8 movement, I can reach the DZ. Here I'm already in. And if he gave away any kind of chaff, that's not going to help because I can eat and that's double points. So that's not going to help him anyway. So there is no good way he can stop me, and the Lugar with 12 can reach multiple area of his DZ, so perfect. And here I'm just going to try to reform to avoid the solid shooting. And I'm just going to try to deplete his Merc-Vet as much as I can in the 2 remaining turns, try to get some points. Here that's going to be hard to reach because he can turn around, move away, and I don't have so much range. That's the issue obviously with Infernal Dwarves, is the range. Magic Phase. Dispel Pyroflow, Fireball did nothing to the bruises. Hereditary did Hereditary on the Merc-Vets, try to give them a token, could be some use in the next turn. Rocket Battery, 4 wounds on the Merc-Vets, so there is half the unit gone. We will see if I can do the other half on the last turn. He's turn 6, yeah, just go away. Could have left the big block here, I think doesn't matter much that he turns around or not, because it's going to be my next turn, so it's not going to matter much. I think he had no way to really block anything because I can move past him. I went close enough to be able to move past. So he has no way really to stop that. And he realized that it's a loss. I think he went just back too much, basically. Going back and back. At some point he's too far away. He could have potentially stayed a bit further up, looking more on the top, and then maybe accept that I can push more south. But now that he moved that much back on turn 6, he realized he couldn't do much to stop the breakthrough, so he just go away, try to save the points, and yeah, maybe my 6 quickly say, yeah, dispel another Wrath of God, and my 6. I just push forward to get into breakthrough. I only need to put 2 units because he put only 1 at the moment, which allows my mage to stay in the unit to blast these guys here, which is even better, and I move forward with the Bastion to shoot him as well. And that's going to be Pyroflow. I'm going to manage to get a lucky 6 wounds, I guess. We roll 2 wound Pyroflow on the Merc-Vets. I roll like 13 hit. Crazy roll. Yeah, I kill like 6 wounds, and then he's going to fail his 8 rollable, be shaken, and then I shoot with the Rocket Battery, kill some more. He's below 25, so I take full point of the Merc-Vets. which is great. Also shot with these guys, and I think he stayed with like pretty much maybe the 1-2 wounds, but decimated and below 25, I think, or maybe I killed the whole unit. I don't recall. Yeah, I don't recall exactly, but anyway, I took the Merc Vets, took Bombardier 1.5. It took for me only the Vizier. I win the breakthrough. Nobody did the secondary, which makes it a 15-5. Yeah, maybe quickly, because I think this one is mainly decided on the macro level. I think overall I get his game plan to play. I defend the small triangle. I push on the little one to try to make my breakthrough, which I think is decent, to be honest, considering my approach. But he could have defended that small triangle better. I think overall, if you take a look at the map, maybe his main unit could have tried to go up slowly, starting from turn 1, getting a position that really blocks the small triangle push for me and makes it more risky to really engage. Even if that opens some field for the Bastion to push, I think he could accept that and maybe protect a bit more the Merc Vets more in a defensive setup out of the rocket battery. Also with the help of the Frosty, try to zone a bit the Bastion to push hard, because that's obviously the risk that I can push on the small flank. But I was also far away, so I think he could have maybe played that against me. The fact that early on I was far away from reaching his battle line. Maybe if you move back to the deployment, yeah. From the starting position, you see I'm also far away from his line. So it would have been a long road for the Bastion to reach his deployment zone. So maybe obviously I could have focused in pushing Bastion and Blunderbuss, go towards his south flank and just get rid of his scoring unit from the south flank. Could have been also an option for me. And it's hard for him to avoid both. I think his Death Star should have made a clear move, and since he was a bit in between all game long and started to move back, then at some point he ended up doing nothing of both. Basically, it still allowed my Bastion to push a bit, but not that much. Maybe that's one thing he achieved, but definitely didn't protect enough the top flank, which was always going to be an issue. So maybe I would have inverted a bit more the position. Maybe getting the Merc Vets on top was more interesting. Also play with the hill to make it more complicated for me to blast him. Maybe get the speedy Tusker on the strong flank to try to make late push into the zone. They can easily reach from the starting zone to the end zone. So that could have been also something maybe more interesting for him. Obviously, then I could have adjusted my deployment and go. That was also the strength of playing second here for me, is the fact that, I'm not going to go at the beginning, but basically I could have go in the small triangle heavily. That was also an option I was considering. I could have gone also heavily on this triangle and tried to attempt a push on the small triangles. That was also an option. Anyway, that's about it. And I think regarding the Vizier, obviously it's easy to tell after you saw the story, but at this point of time, maybe it was worth it to try to infiltrate one more turn, see what he does. I felt the odds were okay for me, but still, it could have happened that I break him, he flees, I don't catch him because he rolls 6 and I don't roll a 6. And I get into the Frosty, I get eaten and I took nothing. So I think my plan to charge now was maybe not the best. It could have been maybe worth it to continue to move, infiltrate, try to trap the Tribesman, because I could have also, and that's going to be my last picture because I'm tired to go back and forth, but I could have at this point of time exactly, there was still a move where I just go in front of them, but I saw that and it was still hard to cover. With 12 he could go all around me, so it was hard to cover everything. If I fly here, he could put the Frost in front of me and still I'm seeing nothing. So I checked a little bit the option to infiltrate and I found nothing with immediate impact, and that's exactly what I didn't like. So I don't know, maybe it was still worth it to fly over here and then go another turn, but still, you start with Bombardier, shoot you again, and then they shoot you again, and I mean at some point the odds are going to catch me and it's going to kill me. Anyway, the round went good for us. We ended up capping, thanks to our opponent for the nice round, and talk to you soon for battle report for the round 2. Take care, goodbye.